Vehicles in Hill Climb Racing 2 are a core component of the game. That is of course because they are the sole reason the game is what it is, but something that helps build strengths and weaknesses is vehicle preference, and I'm here today to rank all vehicles in Hill Climb Racing 2 based on my personal preference. The ranking system for this video will be based off of two components, functionality and enjoyability, where functionality will determine how good of a vehicle it actually is against other vehicles in the game, while enjoyability will determine my personal preference when playing the vehicle. Last place is Snowmobile, which is my least favorite vehicle for a few reasons. It's so slow and boring, it's got no jump shocks, and it can not roll without fuel. Next up is Superbike, and the main reason why I don't like this vehicle is because of how unpredictable it is. The fast acceleration and little fuel make this vehicle one of my least favorite vehicles to play, placing it in second last. A common reason why I dislike vehicles is because they have no jump shocks. In my opinion, jump shocks make a vehicle so much more fun and satisfying to play, but the main reason why I dislike Rotator is because of the hitbox in the middle of the vehicle, which can cause for some pretty annoying deaths. Motocross is pretty obvious for me. It's just not a good vehicle at all. The center of mass is awful, and the grip doesn't exactly compensate for that. The acceleration is garbage, and it's just all around unenjoyable. Next on the list is Supercar, which is really not that enjoyable to play for me. The major reason for my disliking for this vehicle is from the weak landing boost and jump shocks, which does not compensate at all for the little fuel that this vehicle carries. I think we all know why Scooter is not very high on this list. It's just way too glitchy. This vehicle is so reliant on glitches that it just makes the vehicle hellish to play to get 10Ks without the glitches. A very hot take within the community is not liking Muscle Car. To the public, this is an ideal vehicle, being a good vehicle with great boost, but I just find it too generic. Everybody uses it a lot, but I just don't really follow the hype. Formula is definitely the best vehicle with a 30-second fuel duration. However, I don't really find this vehicle enjoyable because of how little grip it has. Don't get me wrong, it is enjoyable to play, but only when you have momentum. Since Tractor Masteries have come out, this vehicle has shown to be amazing, but it just doesn't really make it that more enjoyable. With the head being at the back of the vehicle, it makes getting driver downs an accessible hitbox, thus making it not that enjoyable. Hill Climber Mark II is a pretty generic vehicle, making it not that special and pretty average. However, I do find this vehicle quite good at adventure while not being that unenjoyable to play. Another vehicle that in my opinion has been changed quite a lot since Masteries have come out is Chopper. Chopper is now a great vehicle with good acceleration while also being fun to play. However, its only downside is that it doesn't have any jump shocks, which bumps it down a bit in enjoyability. Nonetheless, it is a good vehicle. Before Masteries, I hated this vehicle. It was just so annoying to play with the inconsistency of the hydraulics, the little fuel, and the terrible landing boost and jump shocks that it has. However, after Masteries have come out, the vehicle has become a lot better. I really enjoyed playing this vehicle when the Eco Thrust glitch was a part of the game. It was actually one of my favorite vehicles, but it's just not that fun anymore. However, as something that you will see later in this video, I do like a vehicle that is challenging to play, which explains why it's up here. Essentially, Hoverbike is just a better Moonlander, being faster, having better thrusters, and being all round a more enjoyable vehicle to play. However, its inability to roll when out of fuel makes this vehicle quite annoying to play in adventure. With that said, it's not that bad of a vehicle, and it's quite enjoyable to play. The halfway mark stands with Bus, where Masteries have completely changed my perspective on the vehicle. Before Masteries, I used to hate this vehicle because you had to be so careful not to break the bus in half when playing, which was just too much of a hassle for me. However, when Masteries came out, Minibus was introduced, making it a much more fun alternative to the traditional unbroken bus, and making it so much more enjoyable to play. Monster Truck is one of the vehicles that I've never really had a problem with playing, being quite enjoyable to play with the bouncy suspension, having an insanely strong coin boost, and having pretty strong jump shocks. With no issues, it sits just above the halfway mark. I don't really enjoy Dune Buggy that much. It's a great vehicle with good landing boosts, but the weird jump shocks make it hard to gain height when jumping, and also make it hard to know momentum properly in my opinion, thus leaving it at 12th place. I know it might be pretty controversial to put Beast up so high, because of the weird hitbox and the fact that you have to go so slow, but personally I find it not that bad to play. Once you reach the point of the map where you can actually start going fast, this vehicle is fun to play, with the boost being very powerful and it having a decent amount of fuel. Rock Bouncer is one of the first balanced vehicles here, having a nice acceleration when the tires are pumped while also balancing that out with flat tires, making it a challenging yet fun vehicle to play, and that's why I like it. Super Diesel is one of the more mediocre vehicles in the game for me. Of course it's a good vehicle, but I just find it pretty bland to play. However, the kangaroo setup on the vehicle is extremely satisfying. Jeep is a great versatile vehicle for adventure because it has amazing kanga, which makes it very satisfying and enjoyable to play in adventure. The only downside to this vehicle is the fact that it has pretty low fuel, but I'm really excited for Masteries. Since Masteries have come out, this vehicle has been greatly improved, with the acceleration and the fuel upgrades playing a significant role in how good this vehicle is. For me, Sports Car is one of the most satisfying vehicles in the game, and that's why it's one of my favorites. Tank is one of the vehicles that I haven't really ever had any issues with. It's pretty balanced and enjoyable to play with, and having amazing kanga and great fuel makes it so fun to play in adventure. Yeah, it's a pretty controversial take to put Hot Rod up this high on a vehicle ranking video, but I feel like Hot Rod is very enjoyable and fun to play with. Even although it has very low fuel, the supercharger makes this vehicle unique to play around and make strategies with, putting it in the top 5. Prior to Masteries, I hated this vehicle so much because of the air drag. It just made it feel so slow and restricted. But after Masteries, the drag was removed, making this vehicle extremely powerful and very enjoyable to play. CCEV is obviously the best vehicle in the game, with no shadow of a doubt. However, it may not be the most enjoyable vehicle to play, putting it in top 3. This vehicle is so good because of a key component, the boost. This makes the vehicle extremely strong and basically unbeatable in most adventure maps. Rally Car has been in the game for over 7 years at the time of making this video, and has only been beaten by a small number of vehicles because of how versatile it is. The strong kanga setup paired with the flexible hitbox makes for an amazing vehicle to play in adventure, putting it in the top 2. Yeah, you read that right. My absolute favorite vehicle in the entirety of Hill Climb Racing 2 is Monowheel. But why? To be honest, I'm not really sure why it's my favorite vehicle. I just find it so fun how challenging it is paired with amazing jump shocks and interesting strategies. Just so appealing to me. And that's why it's my favorite vehicle in the game. I'm not going to argue that it is a bad vehicle because I already know that it is. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and let me know how I did on my first voiceover video. See you all in the next one. Peace.